Hey, what up, guys? It's Julia Vamps Speaker, and who we got on the show today?
Yo, what's good? It's Sainvil checking in. I'm happy to be here. This is
Thank
great.
you. You're joining us on the Best Damn Podcast, by the way. I don't know if you're aware, but we hold very true to that. We are the best damn podcast, so we have to have the best damn talent on the show. So I hope that you appreciate that right quick, because we only want the best on the show.
I do. Yeah. I know I'm with the best, and I know this is the best damn podcast. I'm hype.
Absolutely.
Man, your energy is giving life. It ain't too early over here, but 1 p.m. is kind of early. But like, yeah, this is great. Just give me.
It's the LA life.
Yeah, you heard. Yeah, no, I'll be staying up late trying to like get things done, and I'm a night owl when it comes to creating. So waking up, I always seem to do it, but it takes me a while. But this is great. This is a good way to start. Let's get it.
Absolutely. So let's talk about, before we get into your latest projects, They're All Goblins, because I got so many questions about that, down from the artwork, the vibe of the music, which it was very experimental. I feel like all your projects are very experimental with sound. So we'll get into that like a second. But you not recently, but like maybe just about a year ago, signed to Alamo Records. So how was that?
It was great. Over there, they're very free spirited, which is great for someone like me, especially with what you said about it being experimental. I'm not the type of artist that wants to create the same sound every single time. So all three of the pieces of art that I released to them, the mixtapes I released to them, are all like different in their own right. So it's great. It's great to be around people who are equally as creative and just trying to get it right, because I'm a fairly new artist. You know, I don't have no huge cosign ushering me in saying, yeah, this the guy with the arms around me. But it's great to be with people who care about, bringing someone up, because I think I have a lot to offer.
You definitely do. And it surprised me that you're not bigger than what you are, if that makes any sense, because your sound reminds me of when it's not the same as The Weeknd, but it reminds me of how The Weeknd started. Like, he was a hidden gem, and then all of a sudden, he finally got that push that he needed for the mainstream audience and became huge. So it just reminds me of how The Weeknd was starting off, because when you go back to his earlier work, you're like, God damn, like, why did it take us so long to catch on? And that's how I feel about your music.
That's an honor. It honors me that you would say something, because you obviously your music because you run the Best Damn Podcast.
You already know.
But on top of that is because I feel like the way you talk about the passion of the music, you strike me as someone who like really knows about it, because I too feel that way about The Weeknd. And man, if I could have a shred of that success, I would be very happy. To me, it's all about just sharing the art, though. I just want people to listen to what I have to offer, really.
I think you're going to get there, because like I said, I was pleasantly surprised, because usually I don't go into it with like, oh, this is going to be this or this or this. And I'm like, damn, I really do vibe with this, because these are songs I could actually put on my playlist. And I love R&B with all my heart. I grew up around R&B, and you have like a different sort of sound with R&B. It's not like what you hear right now, the mainstream, but it's something that has the ability to become mainstream and become that sort of blueprint for other people to come behind you and do the same sort of thing. So that's what I like most about your sound, because it's not the same at all.
Thank you. I mean, I would love to take all the credit for that. I wish it was me, but no, it's really just like the people I work with. I got a dope A&R, my guy Bell, and I work with with a couple of the greatest producers that I could have ever had. Like, so, sometimes when you work with people, right, it's like, including the people in the office, you just kind of feel their greatness, and you're just kind of like, dang, y'all really rocking with me? Y'all sharing me? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's them really. I allow my team to just take me into different places, and I feel good that I can tell, the dudes I'm in the studio with making the beats, like, yo, I want to do something that we've never heard. So that's such like a broad statement, but the people that take the time to actually do that is great. You know what I mean? And I have super honest people around me that's like, yeah, I felt that vibe similar or something like that. So yeah, no, it's them. It's the people I got around me, really.
That's amazing, because it's always good to have creative people around you, people that believe in your art. The people that believe in your art, it takes a village to really get You can't do it. You can't do it by yourself, basically. So I definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, man. I wish I made all the beats, and I wish I had all my own projects. I wish you know what I mean? The only thing I could say that I do myself 1000% is I write all my own music.
Oh, that's amazing. That's refreshing to hear, because there's so many different people that have their hands in the writing process. And I'm all about writers, because I love writers, because writers and producers and obviously the singers make the song. It can make or break anything. So it's amazing to hear that you write your own music. So let's get into They're All Goblins. So how do we come up with the name, the artwork, and then we'll get into the tracks in a second. So let's start there with the name and the artwork.
The name and the artwork are both supposed to be kind of you interpret yourself type of thing. Like everyone kind of takes the lesson that I'm trying to put down, and they kind of just, how do I apply it to my life? So with me using that same logic, how it applies to me personally. And the reason why I normally refrain from that, because I don't want people to take my experience and be like, oh, that's what it's supposed to be about. No, it's supposed to be what you want it to be about. But for me, it came from, being in a place where, the aesthetics or the outside look kind of matters a lot, especially in the music industry, but especially being in LA in music industry.
I see. I'm following.
There's just a lot of things that just kind of would benefit you to act or be a certain way. And most of those things are a direct violation to my own code. So I had to realize personally that a lot of those things are goblins. Have you had the time we just dropped a music video yesterday to check out the Hear Myself video? I
did not see the video yesterday, but I have been listening to your music all day today.
When you see it, it's going to make a lot of sense. All right. So
now you got me hype over here. I'm almost hold on. Pause this interview. Let me go watch it right now.
You should, because the message in the video is exactly that. Because it's crazy. Because I in LA, I'm pretty sure you know about the LA vibe. Let me know. The whole you went Hollywood thing only applies to people who move to Hollywood, because there's this big vibe of you kind of like losing yourself and being overwhelmed by this city. And some people fall victim to the goblin and some people don't. But
really like that.
You know what I'm saying? But what I come to realize is the locals, the people that are born here, they don't go Hollywood. They've witnessed Hollywood their whole entire life. They're like, yeah, this don't move me. You know what I mean? They're good. It's just the people, when you come in, you feel like you have to live up to this expectation. So much so, man, for example, I despise people who say, and it's mostly our people, mostly Black people. Right. I hate it when our people say the phrase, I ain't friendly. Why the f aren't you friendly? Too friendly for me. Why though? Like, I never understood that. And to me, that's just one of the many things that fall into the goblin trait. Right. You know what I mean? Of course, that's, an effect of, trauma that we've gone through that teaches that we're supposed to, not like each other and not be friendly. I get it. But at the end of the day, I just think that's the type of we need to get away from. Right. Like, I love friendly people. Why aren't you friendly? We should all be friendly. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I think most people, it's funny because I didn't grow up, I grew up around the hood, but not in the hood. So I would have like, you already know. So like you're raised with a certain level to articulate yourself and express yourself. And with that being is that you kind of are friendly. You're like, oh, hey, how you doing? And people like, you know what I mean? You know, exactly. Black people, but without saying too much, you already know it.
Yo, because and you know what? I realize a lot of that comes from like the environment or like the way the schooling environment is. I used to go to school because I lived in the hood and
Little Haiti.
Yes, I lived in Little. Oh, that's there we go.
I'm Haitian too. Like, let's go. You already know I'm Haitian too, man. I was gonna get into that a little bit later because I'm like, yo, there's mad Haitians in the music industry. What is going on? Yo, I'm like, we're everywhere, so I feel a little protected right now.
Yo, we coming up. You heard? Hey,
I feel it.
That's lit. This done went to a whole nother level. I didn't know.
Yep.
All right, well, cool. Well, yeah. All right, well, I grew up in Little Haiti. And with that being that, I just kind of felt like, you know, already the world is trying to teach us that, you know, we're dangerous. So you already kind of like, oh, gonna jump, gonna da-da-da-da-da. So I feel like that's like a shell that we had to put on to be like, oh, I ain't friendly, I'm tough. I ain't friendly, I'm tough. But in actuality, like, yo, we could have really been making a lot of friends back in the days. Motherfuckers was friendly, but yeah, no, I get it. It's definitely different. But I ain't gonna lie, I like where you from. I prefer where you from.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like your side of the world, you get to see a
lot of different cultures. Yeah.
Yeah, you get to see like what it could be and what it is, and you get to make your own choice from there. I feel like growing up where I'm from, I had to always look over my shoulder, which made me very weary of people that look like me. You know what I
feel like we don't discuss that enough either, by the way.
Hey, it's that too tough syndrome. People don't want to be friendly. You have to, it's lame. It's lame, but that's part of what we talk about in the music sometimes.
And that's what I was going to get into. Do you think that's, because one of my favorite tracks from you, by the way, is Lab and also Heal Myself. So that's why when you start talking, I was like, damn, he's like, he must be up here. Telepathy.
Oh, I'm happy that you like those songs too, because I feel like those two are the ones that I was the most me, for sure.
Damn, that's crazy. So do you think growing up in Little Haiti, obviously it affect how, in a good way, affect how you make your music and how you present yourself, because you do want to see those better parts and you have that opportunity, and you don't make music as if, you know, like back in the day, like the 90s and 2000s, like you kind of knew where somebody was from based on how they made their music in a sense, because you're familiar with their struggle, their story and things like that. But you kind of turn your music into a blank canvas and just kind of start with a lot of freedom, if I could say that. Because it's not boxed in.
It's not at all. Wait, run it back, because I was listening to the information and I can't tell exactly what you asked me. So
I was saying, for you growing up in Little Haiti, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. For you growing up in Little Haiti, has that affect your music in a good way, as opposed to how not that it was a bad thing back then, because there's a lot of freedom in how you make your music, and you were talking about wanting to know life, how it could be, and how things are, how they were for you growing up. You didn't really get exposure to that. So do you think that affects everything in a good way with how you make your music?
1000%. It definitely gave me the experience and things to pull from and talk about. And there's a lot more that I still have to talk about that I haven't, and I'm saving for a bigger stage. But 1000%. But I also think in some bad ways. I mean, I think the way that I work with people, or the way that I like navigate my relationships are affected by that, because I really don't rock with people. I kind of just stay to myself. I think the more lamer someone is, the more enticed I am to grow a friendship with them, because I equate lameness to realness. And I think when people try to be too cool, that's like a red flag for me. Like, okay, there's a lot of things you'll probably do for the clout.
Yeah, that's so funny you say that. I agree with you, because I when I see people, I kind of envision their energy, whatever they're putting out. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you good. Let me go over to this person who's not doing all of that. That's you making too much noise over there.
Right. So imagine the artist standpoint, like, you know, when you're trying to create with people, I'm pretty sure you've been through this, trying to create with people, and you have to go through that extra layer of coolness that they have draped over themselves. That stops me from building relationships, because on the flip side of that, these people might actually be pretty cool. They might just naturally just be cool as hell. Yeah. But I equate trying to be cool to probably being a goblin. And to me, that's just I X a lot of relationships out too early sometimes.
Damn, that's so funny. Damn, I think we really are here. Not trying to be funny, because it's weird to hear somebody say it out loud and you don't discuss these things with people at all, but you keep them like for your own mental notes, and then you hear somebody say it out loud. You're like, okay, so I'm not strange.
Not at all. And that's crazy. All right, full circle, boom. That's what this project is about. It's literally just about like trying to protect self and staying true to self. So that's why, you know, there's songs like Monophobia and Guilty, and it's all about like trying to do what you think is right and trying to block out the outside. You know what I mean? Because we don't know if the outside is truly meant for us at this point.
Damn, you just answered one of my questions too, because I was actually going to talk about monophobia, but you already answered it.
Yeah.
That's funny. I was like, damn, he's good.
I mean, Monophobia is one of my favorite. I would like to know what you were going to ask me about that, because I really love that song.
No, I was just going to ask you about the whole concept of the song and how you came up with it and how you feel about it and what brought you there to create Monophobia.
Are you familiar with autophobia, monophobia?
Autophobia a little bit, but not too heavy. I'm not going to sit here and lie and like, yeah, I know.
Monophobia, autophobia, they're generally the same thing. It's just the fear of being alone. And from a personal standpoint, I've been affected by that through, you know, many important people that I've loved in my life, family members and stuff like that, just passing away. So like my father died when I was 6. My brother committed suicide, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. I had 2 cousins. My father, before he got my mom, he had his own kids. So there's like, my father had a lot of kids. But before he passed away, you know how some Haitian men get down.
Of course. I didn't want to say it, but I was like, because you say your dad passed away, I was like, well, damn, that doesn't, you know. I was trying to be
but yo, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. We know. But I have brothers and sisters that I just don't know. 2 of them, before I had a chance of meeting them, my older brothers, they were in the streets, they passed away. So it's just stuff like that. But with that, I want to say I was kind of like abandoned at the age of 13. I kind of just had to go into the streets and do it myself. My brother accidentally shot a lady in the head. I'm giving you the long story short.
Yeah.
Accidentally shot a lady in the head, and my mom was a single mother at the time because of the things I told you about. She came home, she kind of lost it, and she had to be, you know, mentally taken care of for a little bit. She was just kind of out because she had, up to that point, 16 years of just being a single mom.
Damn. So we have a lot more in common than you really know. We'll talk about it after the fact, but we definitely have a lot in common.
Yeah, I mean, the experience is the experience, so I feel it. Yeah. Let's. But with that being that, my mom left. I was kind of alone for a little bit, and I began to cling on to relationships that I perceived as healthy. So that's kind of what monophobia is about, how we sometimes latch on and grab onto things just for the sake of not being alone, even if it hurts.
You know, and that's a very important topic right now, too, because I think a lot of people are coming to that realization. So I can't wait for people to discover this project and really go ham with it. And then all of a sudden, like tomorrow, you're like on freaking MTV's playlist, and, you know, you have placement on different reality TV shows and movies and stuff like that. So I can't wait for that to happen, because once people really discover all of your projects, first of all, not just this one, they're going to know that the body of work and the artist is probably going to be one of the most important figures going forward.
Yeah.
So I definitely love it.
Facts.
So, so working with young baby Tate, Beam, and obviously Flip Dinero, because I was listening to your song with Flip Dinero. Is he Haitian too, right?
He is Haitian.
He's Haitian. I was like, I knew it. So I like that you added some Haitian influences. I heard it in another song. I can't remember which song, but I swore you were like doing like a little bit of Creole. I can't remember. It was at the beginning of the project, but I can't remember what song. I should have wrote it down. But outside of Sac Passe, it sounded like you were speaking Creole. I like that you, like I said, added those elements. So why was it important for you to add these elements of your culture, our culture, into your music?
2 reasons. One, I feel like there's not enough Haitian influence in the world, period, even though we've done a lot. But
yeah, we have. And no one really knows.
Right. Like so much so that I think this country would probably be British if we didn't help. But that's another topic. But you know, one, I feel like we don't get our flowers in entertainment. So I plan on being one of those people. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be up there with me.
Hell yeah.
Championing us, you know what I mean? Number 2, I feel like I feel like our sound, the compa or the Haitian rap sound, I feel like it has a lot to offer to hip hop, and I feel like it's super different. I feel like the way that Haitian people use synths and synth solos is super dope. And we kind of use some of those patterns, but with different instruments in the music, which I feel like is super cool. And number three, I just kind of feel like I'm just super proud. You know what I mean? Just
Absolutely.
I'm just super proud, and I'm not afraid of it. I love it. I remember when it wasn't cool to be Haitian, and I felt like I was about to be the thing. You heard?
I feel it for sure. Cause I'm not gonna hold you. Cause like, even in like, what was it? I always said I was Haitian, but it wasn't a thing like in middle school and high school and stuff like that to really say, until like I found a group of Haitian friends that I have still to this day that I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yep. That's like that, man. And it's so crazy out here because in LA there's like hardly any Haitians.
Don't worry, we're gonna bring them over.
You heard? There ain't no Haitian section. There ain't no little Haiti of no sorts. I feel like in everywhere, especially in Florida, every city has a Haitian section.
Yeah, it's prominent down there, and it's not like obviously up here, Brooklyn, Bronx, it's heavy. So I'm like, damn, like other parts of the world is like, were we afraid to go out and explore? We just stuck to this East Coast kind of vibe.
Man, they look alike.
Right?
Because you want to know what's crazy is that I hate to get into Haitian history, but I don't hate, but I'm going to get into Haitian history.
Get into it, because I've been doing research lately, actually, too. That's so funny you said that.
Yo, we were the richest country at some point until France was like, yo, don't do no deals with these dudes. Like, they got away.
And I think, what's crazy too? I feel like I just recently read something like we had like a rare either metal or oil that was so valuable, somebody stole it. And I forgot where I read it from, but when I figure it out, I'm going to let you know. But it's like worth billions and billions of dollars. Like that's crazy. It was like either oil or metal that I can't exactly remember which it was, but I was doing research on it too. I was like, damn, God, maybe I should go back over, and just check it out and see what's up, and maybe start trying to help and put tourism back over there, because people are afraid.
Hey, dude, we gotta talk. Hey, all right, cool, we gotta talk.
No, I'm serious. I've always thought about it. We had land over there when we were little kids, me and my sister, but we never went back for reasons I will talk about off air. Yeah. So yeah, we have a lot. We had a lot of land. We had a lot. I think my mom said she could be wrong, because my mom be saying crazy stuff. She said like 120 acres. She said 120. I said 120.
Yo, I can relate that. My mom be saying crazy shit too. But listen, hey, you wanna know what's crazy? So if I told you I had the same plan, you would think I was bull. But No,
I don't, because I feel like we've been here and I haven't had to say much because you've already been kind of pulling it out of my head. I was like, never mind. You said it already.
Hey, you know what? We gotta talk about that, because I have like I had like a plan on how to like do this, like the same thing, but I've kind of made a marketing plan of some sort to because we'll talk about it. This is very interesting because all right, cool. Yeah. So the goal is eventually to give the Haitian people ownership of their own land, because
that would be great.
The Royal Caribbean Cruise stops in Haiti and they don't tell nobody. So people literally get off of the boat. Yeah, they literally get off the boat, see how beautiful the water is, kick it on the coastline. Because we have I believe like how I think I'm not sure.
Be better than me at this part.
100 miles of coastline. I know we have over 100, but I forgot the exact number because I haven't looked at this in like 2 years. But anyways, they get off, they kick it in the water, the warm, blue, beautiful water. They jump off a couple cliffs and then they leave. And they was like, where were we just? Like the Royal Caribbean don't even tell you stopping in Haiti.
Wow. I know that there's like a couple of cruise lines. I feel like maybe it is just Royal, because I was looking like a couple of cruise lines do like the 8-day or 7 or 9-day. And I know that one of the stops is in Haiti. I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I was like, oh, they do that there, huh? Okay.
So imagine trying to make Haiti the new Dubai. And I think
that would be sick. And I was thinking about that years ago too, like hotels and everything, because I'm like, people don't really go to venture to Haiti because of this weird stigma that's there, because they think that because it's third world country that this, and this is going to happen, and not necessarily, but you have to do research to know there's so much more than just these few areas.
You can go see old forts that are still well put together, that are beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. We have landmarks, we have statues,
right?
We have all of that. It's amazing. And we're the first Black independent country, which to me is like,
right.
That's the, yeah, you know,
we do this. The history books for the history books.
Right. You know what I mean? I'm happy you are also connected to your people, to your past, because
absolutely. I want to do more research, but I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know, I know everybody, but I would love to do more research about it and just get into the know, because it only sucks when you know your American side. I'm like, all right. All right, there's so much fried chicken and barbecue and stuff that we could do. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I need something different, man. This is getting out of control.
Not facts. Yeah, I love us, man, for real.
So let's get into one of your favorite tracks off of your new and latest project. They're All Goblins, because I think we got a good history lesson off of this conversation with the project. So what's your favorite track?
Oh man, it's tough. I got a top 4 right now.
Okay, shoot.
Lab, Heal Myself, Monophobia, and Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. You know what? We both have two of the most favorite songs on there, because I couldn't really list it, but because I'm like, I was trying to go through it, and I'm not the type of person that can listen one time. I have to listen maybe 10 or 20 times, because I'm like, okay, there might be some effects that I miss, some lyrics that I miss, an instrument here that I miss, some vocal stacking that I miss. Because I'm all for the full. I love the full creation of a song. I don't just like listen just to listen. Like, because when I talk to people about music and they're like, oh yeah, that was, I'm like, no, you missed the part here. There was some effect over here that you just didn't get. You didn't see what they did here. That reverb touched on that particular note and bounced up. I'm like, you didn't listen. Go back and listen. And people get upset at me. I was like, I don't want to talk to you guys no more.
Right. No. Facts. No. Yeah. I feel it. I'm the same way with music and movies too.
Yo, me too with the movies, because I always have to rewind over and over and over until I get it. And I'm like, okay, I see what they did here. Like, I love the creation process. Yeah. Being creative is a whole, I feel like it's so godly, because like when you think about it, like God obviously created, I don't know what you believe, but for me, I'm like, God created humans and earth and everything is so complex. I'm like, songs and anything entertainment that takes a great deal of creativity is just, it's so deep to me. I don't know why, but I'm loving this conversation today.
It really is, and especially with film, because I'm not all the way in that world yet. Like, I feel like the directors, you know what I mean? I feel like the directors, they try to tell stories sometimes. So like when moments like that, when you're saying, yo, did you notice the reverb? When like, for example, when the director zooms in on a certain point,
I love it.
And there's a long pause, and then the person says something, I'm like, yo, you see what they're trying to say? So I get you 1,000%. I really love when that happens in film, like when the director tells a story with the way that he's shooting it.
Absolutely.
For example, have you heard of Spike? You heard Spike Lee's GQ interview, the video one on YouTube?
No, I haven't, not yet.
He broke it down.
I'm gonna watch it all.
He broke it down so simple. He said, when he's trying to make someone seem weak, he shoots the camera on top shooting down to like show how small they are.
Right.
When he's trying to make someone look powerful, he shoots the camera looking up so that they tower over the camera and you get this giant presence. So it's just stuff like that. I'm like, oh wow. After seeing that, he ruined it for me 2 years ago. When he enhanced it for me. I'm gonna say that. He kind of pulled the curtain back a little bit, but I started to look at the way the directors like shoot things to try to give you a certain emotion. Man,
I like that. I love that. That's
dope.
why I like doing research afterwards and like seeing what the intent was and if I understood it properly, and make sure that if I don't understand it, I'm going to go back and understand it and see where the cues are. Not even so much as I don't like researching too much, because I don't want to, like you said, ruin it for myself, but I want to be able to see what their intention was down from color grading all of that stuff, because it really makes sense. Like, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. All
right, so we're talking about influences and stuff like that. So what actually influenced you to get into music?
I think it was just my family. I feel like Haitian people are just very rhythmic and musical in general. And I got one of those. You remember the boom boxes that had the CD and a tape recorder?
Yeah,
the tape recorder had a little rectangle thing that you could record into.
Right.
I used to record over my sister's R&B tapes, singing the songs, and she'd get so pissed. But like one day, my brother was like, "Hey, I listened to that. You're not half bad." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I just kept going.
Not you taking the tapes. He's like, you know what? Screw you. I need this right now.
Yo, because I watched her one day and she used to wait. Because do you remember on those same things you could record things off of the radio? So
I used to do that all the time.
You feel me? So she would wait, and I remember I'm Sprung was out, and she would wait for I'm Sprung or whatever, or all her songs, and she had a perfect point. And she would like record it. Right. And when she recorded it one time, I ran into there and I fell and I dropped something and I was like, or something. She's like, "You messed up my recording." Because I guess it got, and I was like, "Oh, it records?" Oh, okay. So then one day she wasn't there, I just went ham, sprung, just went crazy.
And she was like, "This is not it. This is like Soulja Boy and 50 Cent Candy Shop. You tricked me." You tricked me. Somebody else singing a song.
Yeah, I used to kill that shit, yo. I was hyped. Yeah,
I love it.
She didn't like that very much.
Absolutely. So this is my favorite part of the show before we wrap up. It's called 5 Fast Facts. You got to be quick. You got to drop 5 gems about yourself that your fans don't know, and your future fans could come back and go, "This is what he said, and this was his favorite thing." So you got to drop 5 fast facts about yourself before the show's over. Okay. And you go now.
All right. I recently got into coffee with oat milk. Okay. I like video games as much as I like sports. Mm-hmm. I want to get into painting, and I just joined. I just looked up the new gym that I want to join for Muay Thai, and I'm gonna join.
One more. That was 4.
One more. I learned how to tie a tie when I was 6.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
I tried to do that because I saw my brother doing it, and I was like, "Screw this. This is for you guys. I'm not going to try this nonsense."
Kind of weird. I messed it up. I wasn't good at it for like, I want to say my first 8 times trying it. But then when I got kicked out of middle school.
Nah, what'd you do before we get there? What'd you do? You must have did something crazy.
I did something crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So it was actually my first time being arrested too. Which
damn.
So I'm one of those people that like you could talk crazy to me, and I'll if I do get mad, I'm good at leaving. Like if I sit in it, I start to hulk up, and then I'm like, you know what, you should leave, because the first thing that hopped into my head is this think you a bitch.
You one of those.
That's the old way I was, and now I've gotten better at like, all right, let's get the out of here. You feel me? Because that's stupid at the end of the day. But I'm gonna be honest, it comes into my head, so I'm good at leaving. But if you test somebody I care about,
that's different.
It's not easy for me to be like, I'm way more of a, you know how Haitian people is. It's like my mom used to be like, "Yo, if one fight, y'all all fight. And touch your sister, you go fight that nigga." So it's instilled in me to like protect the people I love. Right. So much so that one of my boys got jumped from school when I wasn't there. He got jumped. Damn. And it enraged me so much that I brought a weapon to school. Damn. And I caused a riot. So I got arrested. And because they
riot? That should have been a fast facts right there.
Yeah, I mean, but they jumped my guy, and of course, people rocked with me, and my older brother was like the nigga in my hood. He was like the guy. So of course, if I was getting fight, then a couple of other getting ready to fight, was getting out of hand. They stopped it. It was this one counselor. He was a young black dude, and I didn't realize it back then, but I really liked him. I knew I really liked him, but I didn't realize it back then what he was trying to do. And I trusted him, so I kind of was like, "Look, man, take this before I do something stupid." And he was like, by regulations, he had to like tell them. Yeah. But he was like, "Damn, man, why you show me that? Like you just should have." Oh. Yeah. So he kind of had to like tell them, and then he was like, "You don't have to call the cops though," and they did it anyways. And they might have add, I was a magnet student, so I was already I was already going to a school for football that I wasn't even supposed to be going to. It wasn't even in the hood. It was like, you know what I mean? Right. So the people that occupy that area wasn't having it. You feel me? It was like, yeah, get this little out of here. So yeah. So I ended up getting locked up for that because I don't know, man. You can't try one of mine. You try one of mine, just right.
As it should be. Like you sound like a very loyal person, and you're ride or die for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love my people.
Absolutely.
I love my people. You feel me?
I do. Like, I'm the same way. Like even like the recent events that I've been going through too. Like just to make it short, but one of my homegirls got in trouble at the job or whatever, and I'm not with all of that. You tell me, like, you my friend, you coming to tell me you need help. Like, I'm pulling up too. Like, no hesitation. It doesn't work like that with me. So like people like, well, why you? That's my friend. What you mean? Why I'm getting involved? Like, what you? Right. That's my friend. What type of friend am I? Like, what you mean? You come to me, you crying. You like my sister. I'm like, hell nah. You gonna have to do it to both of us.
You feel me?
I'm starting to notice people like that don't exist anymore. To be honest with you, they don't exist anymore. They're not loyal. People are all for themselves, and they're goblins.
They're goblins.
Hey,
you feel me? And you know what? To add on to that, and do me my last add on. I promise. I know we've been adding on to each other's add ons, but I relate to that 1,000% for the simple fact of, man, I recently had to come to terms with that. Like, not everybody is as down as I am.
Right.
Like, I'm so ready to jump out the window for everybody, but some of these people wouldn't even jump off a step of the porch for me. So I had to teach myself, like, okay, bro, you got to stop calling down. I was on the bike the other day on IG. I was like, yeah, this. I don't think anybody took me serious, but I'm so moving like that. I can't keep jumping out the window. But for the people that I know would jump out the window for me, man, I don't care how many stories up we are. I'm jumping out the window.
Right. No hesitation. It's not, if I could talk you off the ledge before you do it, we're going to stay together. But if not, we're going to have to go together.
Right. If not, bro, I got a parachute, bro. We doing this.
Exactly. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out when we land. Right. Well, Sainvil, thank you so much for joining us today. I really, really appreciate you. This was one of the best conversations I've had in a really long time. Not even an interview. It was a conversation.
Yeah, it was definitely a kickback. It was a vibe. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. Man. I think we connected. I think so. Heritage, all of that. I think we connected before.
Yo, I would love to come back, like, whenever. Absolutely. Just you know what I mean, to let me know. This, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be on the best podcast in the world as much as possible.
Exactly. We're bringing it. This is going to go down in history, beyond just Haitian history, but history in general.
Yo, he's gonna look back and be like, yo, she was first. She was first.
Exactly. I can't wait. I can't wait for that moment, because I'm gonna be like, yeah, I got the
interview. You heard? Yes, let's go. You heard? And then hopefully when I have some legendary beef and it's time for me to talk about it, I'm gonna come to you.
We won't even have to talk about it, because I'll be over there pulling up already. Not even on the stuff. We gonna handle it. Why you beefing with my Haitian brother over here, man?
You heard?
You already know. We pull up, no hesitation. Anybody that knows me knows I don't hesitate. With the what?
You heard? With the what? Yo, you the best. You the best, yo.
Absolutely. Well, I'm Julie Vamps. This is Sainvil. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening.
Yo, appreciate you, Julia.